So at this villain con thing, then the lady that they want to be their new master is this lady, Scarlet Overkill, and she's wearing the red dress that I've been talking about a lot lately. So, I mean, it's in the movie Pixels, the lady in the red dress. We had Bruce Jenner wearing the red dress when he became Caitlyn. Even on the Rowdy Piper It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode, the girl is wearing the dress, and her name, the red dress, and her name is Rose. I can't even remember what it was now, but just interesting. I've been seeing this red dress a lot. I mean, it probably has more to do with what I'm thinking of, but it just reminds me of Bruce Jenner a lot. And she even says, nobody ever thought that a woman could rob a bank like a man, but times are changing. And then right after she says that, a guy in a red dress with a mustache and everything stands up and says, I love you, Scarlet. So I'll just prove it here. So he's right here. And he yells, I love you, Scarlet, or whatever. It's the guy in the red dress. I don't know. Just I've associated it with Bruce Jenner, and then now, I mean, literally, it seems like it just goes with it. And yes, I do understand that her name is Scarlet, and Scarlet is the color. It's a red color, whatever. I get it. But the reason that they named her that in this movie is for this very reason, because they wanted to put her in the red dress. And I mean, I don't know. When I think of the red, like a red dress, I know it's not a dress the Catholic cardinals wear, but I just think of red and Catholic cardinals, and when you mix that in with the Pope and whatnot, who knows? So they get a ruby from her, and they win to be her new sidekick or whatever. And so they go with her, and she tells them the whole story about how she actually wants to become, her real dream is to become the Queen of England or whatever. So the whole point of this movie is to overthrow the Queen and steal this crown and become the Queen. So she's going to send them off to steal the crown or whatever so she can become the Queen. And she tells them a bedtime story. And then they're the three little pigs, and she's the big bad wolf. And if she doesn't get what she wants, then the three little pigs are going to get ate or whatever. But just funny to throw in the wolf thing, because I've talked about how it's all to do with Lupercalia. And for whatever reason, I just thought of the red dress thing again. Little Red Riding Hood, right? She's in the Red Hood or whatever. Red Hood, also the Batman stuff. So anyway, they go to the Tower of London, whatever, the castle, and they're going to steal the crown jewels, or it's also called the St. Edward's crown, which I'll get to in a second. Just wanted to talk a little bit, I guess, Tower of London. In Gematria, Tower of London adds up to 176, and this is a huge number that the royalty love. Queen Elizabeth's husband is born exactly 1,776 days before her. 1776, if you add 176 years to that, I can't even type, but 176 years, it takes you to 1952. That's when the Queen became the Queen, was in 1952. 176 is also 88 plus 88. Even like Back to the Future has been real significant this year, and that adds a 176. My full name even adds a 176, so really interesting. But anyway, I also want to show a few dates here. If you go from Valentine's Day to August 9th, it's 176 days. If you subtract 176 days from Valentine's of this year, it takes you to 8/22 last year. And so August 9th and August 22nd, when you convert them from Julian and Gregorian, they are the same day. And the Queen is 89 years old this year. So interesting, from Valentine's, if you go up 176 and then back 176, it takes you to the same day. And I've tried this with other days, and it doesn't work that way. So just found that pretty interesting, considering the Queen is 89 years old this year. On 8/9, she will be the Queen for 63 years, 6 months, and 3 days. But anyway, I want to talk about the St. Edward's crown. That's what pretty much this whole movie is about. So I've talked about Elizabeth being surrounded with 52 and 62. She was born in the year 26, so the year of 62. She became queen on 2/6 of 1952. She was coronated with this crown on 6/2/62 years ago. And this crown actually takes its name from St. Edward the Confessor. And it says he died in the year 1066. So the 2/6s, that's also like 949 years ago. So interesting. I mean, 949, once again, the mirrors in itself, the 49, the 94. 49 has been super significant this year. It's been all over the place. Even says that he was coronated on 4/3 in the year 43. And that's also been a significant number this year with the Civil War kind of stuff and the domestic violence theme they've been running. And he also died, it says, about the age of 62. So they're not quite for sure, but 62, I mean, I'm telling you, it's just been a big, big number. And since it all seems to go back to like the Catholic Church and all that, and Pope Francis as well, along with Obama, but it says he was canonized in the year 1161. So I mean, like 61, it goes with the 43 and the 34. I've been talking about it tons. It was by this guy, Pope Alexander III, who died in the year 1181. That was the same year that St. Francis of Assisi was born. That is who Pope Francis is supposedly named after. Also, San Francisco, supposedly named after. And I mean, so it says the crown takes its name from Edward the Confessor, although the present crown is in fact a reconstruction made for the coronation of King Charles II in 1661. And I've just said, the 61s have been crazy, and that's the 16 and 61, the mirrors of 61. And what's pretty interesting about him, so the 1661, I talked about it's all to do with the Civil War, the American Civil War, but I think it's to do with just Civil War in general, because this guy didn't become the king until his birthday, May 29th of 1660, but his dad was executed on January 30th, 1649. So he got the 49, but his dad was executed at the climax of the English Civil War. So then the country was run, it says, de facto, led by Oliver Cromwell until this guy became the king again. So he also died on the same day that Queen Elizabeth became the queen. So he died exactly 267 years before Queen Elizabeth became the queen. And I don't know, the 267 just kind of sticks out a little bit to me because I've been talking about the Pope being assassinated. He's the 266th Pope, so if he's assassinated, the next Pope would be the 267th. I mean, who knows? Doesn't have to mean much. But I came back and was just reading some more stuff about this, the St. Edward's crown. And it talks about what it looks like, the design and all that from 1661, but it has 444 precious stones. I mean, what a number for it to have. It couldn't be 450 or, 444. And the stones, they weren't attached permanently until 1911, the 9/11. Makes me think of Ronald Reagan, who was born in 1911. Oh, and I was scrolling down, and it even talked about some of these other kings, if I can find it here. And I seen the number 1189, and it stuck out to me. So this guy started in 1189. So that means this guy most likely died in 1189. And we talked about 1189, the chapters in the Bible. And I did his name in gematria, and I just found it really interesting that it's 52 and 88, and he died in the year 1189. And we've been talking about 52, 88. I mean, a lot this year. So just, I don't know, whatever, just kind of interesting. I also thought it was kind of weird here. It says that although always regarded as the official coronation crown, in fact, only a minority of monarchs have been crowned with the remade St. Edward's crown. These were Charles II, James II, William III, George V, George VI, and Elizabeth II. So only 6 of them But look at the dates here. So 1661 to 1685, that's what, 14 years. And then 1685 to 1689 is 4 years, 14 and 4. Who knows? Could be the 144 that we've been seeing a lot. But it was 1689, and then it wasn't used until George V in 1911. 1689 to 1911 is 222 years. So in 222, here, I'll pull something up real quick. I remember this going around on Facebook and whatnot, but it talks about America being at war for 222 years out of the 239 years. Also, 239, the 923, 52nd prime number, tons of stuff. Just thought that was interesting. Considering, basically our whole country, we fought England, right, to be declared independent. So it was like basically a civil war in general too. So technically, I guess the Revolutionary War was a civil war. And also, so this was, like I said, 14 years and then 4 years. So that's 14 and 4 is 10 away. And then it went 222 years. And then the next time it was 26 years and then 16 years. So 26 to 16, 10 years away. 14 to 4, 10 years. I don't know. Just thought that was kind of weird. Just the pattern I realized. I guess last thing I was going to say about this, and there's probably a ton more. I just didn't take the time to super duper look into it. But let's see here. It says that Queen Elizabeth now reigns 16 independent Commonwealth realms. And I just found that interesting because in this movie, in 68, that would be her 16th year reign as queen. So anyway, I'm going to move back on to some more stuff. And I'm just going to make another part because I got to restart my computer. It's freezing up again real bad. So I guess I'll see you in part 3.